Alright, here we are for round number 5. Trying to salvage this to at least get half of our entry feedback. Got another hand with just no lands basically. I think I'm going to still keep this one anyway. It's pretty good if we can preordain into a bounce land, I guess. Nah, I gotta mulligan this. I can't justify it. Another no land hand basically. I'm gonna keep this one. I'm sick of mulliganing with this deck. So we'll see if I can find any lands. I really need to find a bounce land though, otherwise I'm gonna lose. Alright, we're playing against a blue deck finally. I'm not playing against just like all aggro all the time anymore. We did find a land. It wasn't a bounce land, but we found it early enough that now I can use it to get an island. Okay, blue-black. So I've played 10, this is my 10th game today. I played against blue-black twice, and then aggro for 8 other matches. I do consider Affinity to be an aggro deck. I don't want either of these. I really want a white source or like some kind of action. Mana War is going to be just heinously bad in this matchup. Opponent's making the play that we're probably going to have to make too. Yep. Looks like that's what we've got. Assuming our opponent thinks we're on the same deck, and our decks are quite different. I don't even really want to play this Mana War. Like, I don't want to bounce this guy. I'll probably discard it to this compulsive research this turn. Especially since I only have 1 land. I have to discard a bunch of cards anyway. Alright, 2 cards. Mana War down for sure. I guess I should probably consider getting rid of Ghostly Flicker or maybe a Snap. Still haven't found a white source or anything that I can... Let's get rid of a familiar. Yeah, okay. Gonna have to discard again. Anyway. I think I'll get rid of a flicker. It's pretty tough. I don't really want to discard this land. It's the only way that we can cast a Muldrifter if we draw one, and we need 2 more to cast this Denrova Horror. Opponent's draw has just been a lot smoother than ours, unfortunately for us. So I can cast a Denrova Horror this turn if I want. I think I'd rather just cast this Fogbringer. Really wish we, like, if we could play this familiar, I could play a bunch of stuff for cheap, but can't. Let's just go ahead and play the Fogbringer. Nice little card. Bounce their dual land. Maybe get one of their removal spells out of their hand. I'm going to block their Muldrifter. Okay, that's another reason why you get why I didn't want to play the Denrova Horror. Not that it matters. I'm not sure we'll resolve anything more really. For the next few turns at least. Although it is possible now that I got this Plains, I'll be able to play the Sunscape Familiar. Okay, let that resolve. I think I'm just going to leave it out there. I'm just so confident my opponent has a counterspell. We're getting Edicted again. Be a little annoying. Doomblade, huh? Good flicker to save it. I can either flicker or I can snap to save it. You'd rather just snap it. Should have probably untapped to represent counterspell, but I didn't. Okay, our opponent is just playing Seagate Oracle, so that means we're going to be able to play this Denrova Horror. Okay, Sunscape Familiar. Gonna put this Dismal Backwater back in their hand. So I think that's what I'm going to do. It's possible I should just be playing the Seagate Oracle so I can get some more like Edict fodder, like protection. But one should be probably enough. My opponent doesn't actually have any spells that can kill this right now. They need 2 edicts. Or at least like a kill spell and an edict. Okay, can't block that. I'm going to play the Seagate Oracle. I think they'll counter it, but I'd actually rather resolve this Compulsive Research. Okay, they're not countering that. Let's go ahead and take the Preordain. So I think I'm exactly as likely to draw a white card as a black card. Let's go ahead and just Compulsive myself, of course. Yeah, let's get rid of a land. I'm gonna go ahead and snap my Seagate Oracle. See what happens there. Counterspell. Counterspell is okay with me. That means I get to flicker my Denrova Horror and my Seagate Oracle. I'm gonna attack with my Denrova Horror though. If he double blocks, I do have to decide what I want to do. I think I'll just kill his Seagate Oracle. So this is going to teach my opponent a harsh lesson about sequencing, although not super harsh. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. I usually like to get the damage done first. Alright, I'm going to put the backwater back in their hand again. Grab a Seagate Oracle. So the reason I usually like to do the damage first, like if they had just passed there, I wouldn't have been able to Ghostly Flicker at all on my turn. But I was able to. Ooh, they have a Denrova Horror. I'm going to discard this Sunscape Familiar. I'm sure they're going to, yeah, I'm going to put my, at least I think that's what I want to discard. Maybe it's just the Preordain. Yeah, I think it's probably just the Preordain actually. They're going to get in for a little more. Alright, let's go with this. Let's tap the black. Sunscape Familiar. Seagate Oracle. Grab another Denrova Horror. My opponent has flickers, but I still think I'm gonna play this Chancery and discard this Plains. Land. Goodbye Plains. Ooh. Man, snap could be really insane. So can I snap? If I snap back this Denrova Horror, I don't have enough mana still. So just gonna have to wait a little longer. But we do have Dispel, which is gonna be a big deal. So I expect my opponent, Chittering Rats is fine. That's an interesting art. I expect my opponent is going to like try to flicker their Denrova Horror this turn. Put our Aqueduct on top. And then I'll just Dispel it and it'll be all good. Okay. So now I have to decide what I want to put back in their hand with my Denrova Horror. Well, let's go ahead and cast it. I don't really want to put any of their creatures back in their hands, so I guess we're doing the lands. Then I'm going to pick up the swamp. have to decide if I want to snap one of my Denrova Horrors or my Seagate Oracle to get some extra gas. I think I'm gonna pick up the Seagate Oracle actually. I don't really care about putting any of their stuff back in their hand really. Okay. Seagate Oracle. Could use a Muldrifter. Ghostly Flicker is nice. So I can put two things back in their hand. I can snap one of my Denrova Horrors and put some of the stuff back in their hand. I think I'm going to attack with my Denrova Horror and see what they do. Yeah, this is what I wanted them to do. They should have probably just blocked with all these things. But I want to get their Denrova Horror off the table. So what am I going to do here? I think I'll just wait. I have a lot of reactive stuff. And I can answer some of their things. But if they just play a bunch of creatures, it's going to take me a while. I really need to hit my own Muldrifter. My opponent hit a second one, and I didn't. Okay, or like a Mnemonic Wall would be good too. So I think I'm just going to Ghostly Flicker both of these Seagate Oracles. Okay, what do we find? I don't really need another Aqueduct, so I guess I'll take a Familiar. And a Muldrifter, great. Let's go ahead and play the Sunscape Familiar. And this Muldrifter for 2 mana. There's our Mnemonic Wall. Also costs 2 mana. Play the Swamp. Opponent doesn't seem to have anything really, so let's go ahead and play the Mnemonic Wall. Get back my Ghostly Flicker, of course. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have Reaping the Graves. That would be... Should have maybe thought about that. Because that would make sense for why they blocked me last turn. That's going to be a lot of value. Yeah, I think I messed up. It was so obvious that they had it too, and I just played right into it. We can still beat this, but man, it's going to be a slog. As long as they don't have like multiple ways to kill our Mnemonic Wall and stuff. Like if they're just going to play out some Muldrifters, that's not a big deal. I'm going to get to bounce like a ton of their lands next turn. I think I will trade. No, not yet. Okay. Another Muldrifter is pretty good. So let's go ahead and start off with this Muldrifter. We need to draw our own Reaping the Graves. Okay. Let's go ahead and get an island. Play it. I don't really need to play the Nightscape Familiar. I can play another Muldrifter. Okay. So I think, yeah, this will be good. So I think starting this turn, I'll be putting all their cards back in their hand. They haven't seemed to have found an Archaeomancer yet. And talk about a spell that doesn't do anything, jeez. Goodbye, Seagate Oracle. I am going to block this time. Okay, they're not even attacking me. So let's flicker Denrova Horror and Mnemonic Wall. So I have a Dispel for the counterspell. And then I'll be able to snap my Mnemonic Wall if something else like really bad goes wrong. I'll be able to snap the Mnemonic Wall, get back the flicker. Doomblade my Mnemonic Wall, huh? Yep, I snap it back. It's not great. Like, it's not as efficient as I wanted to be, but it's not terrible. I'm gonna put their black mana back in their hand, I think. Yeah. I don't know if I have enough blue sources. I might be able to put everything back in their hand. I haven't really quite checked. I think I'm at the point where is snap infinite mana? It's infinite colorless mana, I think, but not blue. So I can snap for 1 mana and Mnemonic Wall for 1 mana and get back snap, and that'll make an infinite loop for infinite colored mana, because each snap will untap these, but I actually don't need extra colored mana for anything. All I need is more blue. But still, I'm gonna play this out. Play my Mnemonic Wall, get back Ghostly Flicker. Okay. Got a lot of blinking to do. Let's blink Denrova Horror and Mnemonic Wall. Oof, this is laggy for me, man. Yeah, each time is just lagging a tiny bit. Holy cow, I've used up so much time. I didn't think I played that slowly for most of this, but man, I must have been lagging a little bit and just talking a little too much, I guess. Alright, let's get an always yes, always yield on here. Let's get back to Ghostly Flicker. Yes. Always yield. So I'm going to put all their colored sources back in their hand. I am going to be tapped out, but I would rather do that than let them hold up Counterspell next turn. This does put us a little weak to exactly Doomblade, but whatever. Attack with 1 Muldrifter. Just an island is not a big deal. They didn't have anything for a blue last turn, so alright, we drew our Reaping the Graves. That'll finish this off nice and quickly. Okay. I think I can probably hide that. Luckily this goes pretty quickly. I mean, it's not super fast or anything, but it's pretty good. Let's put some of these Muldrifters back in their hand. They can never cast them anyway. So I might use my newfound editing skills to edit some of this part out, but I probably won't. This is kind of an important part to see in the deck, and we're actually not that far away from being done with it anyways, so I think it's okay to do. I'm gonna do one more, and I guess I'll pick up like everything we have. With my floating mana, I might as well use my Reaping the Graves. Get back just everything. Okay. And my opponent was saying he was thinking about building this deck. I should tell him that he shouldn't. It has not been good. It has not been good at all. Alright, let's go ahead and attack with these. See, my opponent's going to chump in an attempt to like take a little more of my time, but actually I think that's just going to save me time. Although I should have just double mana ward this turn. Alright. I think we've locked it up. Just to be sure. Alright, our opponent has conceded. Alright, so we definitely want this Dispel. We could consider this Circle of Protection. Problem is they do have a way to get it off the board. And they've got some black creatures too and stuff. I don't know how much I want just a dead card. I think I'm just going to bring in the Dispel, definitely taking out the Lone Missionary for sure. I don't really want these Mana Wars very much either, so it's possible I should take those out. I definitely want this Fogbringer, take out one Mana War. Maybe I'll take out both Mana Wars, bring these in. I don't know. I don't really want them both in, they seem kind of bad. Hoodwink doesn't really do anything. I could hit their land. So I'm considering maybe like a Prismatic Strands. Doesn't really do anything though. I'll leave one Mana War in, we can bounce, I don't know, our own guys. I don't really want two Circle of Protections. I don't really want the first one that badly either, but I'm going to try it out. Okay, this hand's pretty bad, but I'm going to keep it anyway. I'm just happy to see a couple lands. Our opponent went down to 5 on the play. Hopefully they struggle to find what they want. They went bottom. Bottom. So they didn't find what they wanted yet. We also didn't find what we wanted. Okay, an island is, I suppose, okay. Would have liked to have gotten a different color mana, but... See, this is the problem with Mana War, I just like can't even cast it here. Chancery is just better, it's 2 land drops. I'm kind of anticipating playing this Chancery and discarding my Mana War next turn, because Mana War is just that bad. The other option is to play the Chancery, snap my Seagate Oracle, and like play the Seagate Oracle again. That doesn't seem too bad. Could just Compulsive. I really don't like casting Compulsive when I have to just discard this much though. So let's go ahead and play that. Pick up the island. Snap my own Seagate Oracle. And let's play it again. Dispel's pretty good. Yeah, Dispel is really good against this deck. I'm going to discard the Mana War. Mana War sucks. Sorry, Marshall Sutcliffe. Mana War in the dump. Okay. Do not mind that. I hope they draw a lot of Edicts. Edicts are pretty bad against us. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this Fogbringer and leave up Dispel. Oh, now I'm really gonna do it. They're gonna cycle that away, and then they're not gonna realize that they're gonna be so low on land next turn. Oh yeah, that feels good. That feels really good. Pow. Now imagine if they do that again. Alright, so you get Oracle. Like imagine if they play that again and pick up one of these. Oh, opponent. Opponent. They're gonna get so wrecked. Alright. Yeah, I mean I can't just not do it, right? It's clearly just busted. Imagine if we had a Ghostly Flicker here for next turn. Holy smokes. Are they gonna Echoing Decay me? No. This is my clock. This is like the fastest clock we can put on. Alright, Muldrifter. Preordain. I don't really want the Ash Barrens, but I will take this Evolving Wilds. I'm gonna grab a Swamp with it. Echoing Decay is probably a little better against our deck, but all the stuff that you can really hit is like stuff he already has in his deck, like Muldrifters. This is like the good matchup for this deck, I assume. Because we're kind of like the Tron of this matchup. So I'm going to go ahead, attack with these guys. I'm going to run some things into like probable counterspells, like this guy. Okay. Ooh, these are both so good. They're both so good. Man. I kind of have a lot of card draw. I think I'd rather have a Denrova Horror. Yeah, I'm gonna Compulsive myself. Probably discard this Circle of Protection if I don't draw some lands. Okay. I had a lot of, so that's a lot better than having to cast that earlier and discard a ton of stuff. This figure is fine. So hopefully I can hit my own counter spells of some kind. Did not. Well, let's just attack. Really trying to protect this Ghostly Flicker if I can, and I really want to also resolve this Denrova Horror. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Compulsive myself again. My opponent F6'd. Land, Ash Barrens, you're gone. Man, don't F6 you guys. Do not F6. You're playing a counterspell deck? Come on with the F6. What am I getting? Ooh, a Snap? Snap seems nice. I could cast Snap this turn. I think I'll just Preordain though. I think this deck has more islands in it. No, I don't really want to play an island this turn. I want to play my Aqueduct. Alright. So our opponent didn't have a counterspell last turn. So they used F6. I'm gonna play that Swamp out. Attacking again. Let's go ahead and Denrova Horror. This is why you don't F6, because I'm about to get to do this, and I would never have tapped out to do this if my opponent hadn't F6'd both these turns. Alright. I think it's safe for our opponent to concede here. My assumption is they do not have any outs to this. Okay. Yeah, well, I attack. That's for sure. Actually, be kind of happy if they double block and disfigure. Okay, that's not what they did. Okay, let's play familiar. Okay, we win. We did it. So I think if the format's a little slower, like we felt pretty advantaged against. I felt pretty advantaged against blue-black, just because I can cast so many more spells in a turn than they can. And they don't have a ton of counter spells. It's not like a true blue-black teachings deck where you have a lot of counter spells. They've got more like just the 4, maybe a 5th one, but they're a little shorter on counter spells. They've got more threats. So the conversation I had with my opponent in that last game was like kind of my assessment of the deck. So the deck's really fun. It's super fun. Especially if you get to play against like actual games where you aren't dying on turn 5 or whatever. And I mean, we didn't perform that well in there, but I think did we take a game in every match? So yeah, even the matches we lost, like overall, so like if I were, Deluxikov and I were counting up all my game wins, we actually won 7 games and only lost 7. We went 7-7 in games, so that's not terrible. And I think if you had a great read on the metagame, you could definitely use up your sideboard slots a little bit differently too. And like if we had a couple Circle of Protection greens in here or something, instead of maybe, I don't know, with these hoodwinks, they're okay, but they're not that great. Like we could have probably pulled out a win against some Stompy or Boggles decks if we had some Circle of Protection greens. So I'd recommend playing this deck if you're not like necessarily trying to spike a tournament or anything. Like this isn't currently I would not play this in the metagame. If you wanted to ask my opinion on an actual metagame deck right now, I'd play anything that has like lightning bolts and is not like an aggro deck. So I really like the black-red deck and I really like Kodotha Boros right now. They're both super good against Stompy and they're good against red deck wins. So I would recommend trying those out. I do like the black-red one a lot right now. It's my favorite deck. And I currently sold all of my Gorilla Shamans, so I don't have the deck right now, but this deck is so fun. You get to draw a bunch of cards with Thorn of the Black Rose, and it's so good against Stompy. Look at all this. We got 11 spells that kill Stompy creatures dead. We even have stuff that kills Young Wolf without getting 2 for 1. So I'll probably make a video about this deck sometime soon, even though I won't have the Gorilla Shamans, because I'm currently waiting for them to go down in price. But I'll play something else in that spot. That's it for this episode. I will be putting out more videos again. A video every day is my plan, so you guys will be able to see me every day for the next couple weeks. Remember to subscribe to my channel down below if you want to get updated by YouTube, and if you want to get updated by me on Twitter. I will tweet out every time I submit a new deck, so do both of those things if you really want. If you really want to get my content as soon as possible, all the time, go and follow me on those things. Other than that, leave me any comments below, and that's it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow.